Hello everyone, my name is Mariam Gurmai. I'm the C++ team's productivity product manager in Visual Studio. In this video, I'll be showcasing some of the debugging and diagnostics features available in Visual Studio for C++ developers. We'll go over some practical debugging tools and see how they can help you catch bugs, track down issues, and get your C++ code working smoothly. In Visual Studio, we have a variety of tools to help you debug your C++ code. These include powerful features like breakpoints, conditional breakpoints, data breakpoints, and trace points. For this demo, I'll be working with an open source project called Pioneer. This section of the code computes the brightness of the star system, and I suspect that a division by zero might happen, so let's go ahead and investigate this section of the code and see how we can debug it step by step. To begin our debugging process, I'll start by adding a breakpoint right here. By the way, breakpoints allows us to pause the program at specific points, giving us the ability to inspect the state of our program at critical moments. To add a breakpoint, you can simply click on the left margin right here, or you can select the line of the code, and from the context menu, go to breakpoint, insert breakpoints. Also, if you prefer to use keyboard shortcut, you can select the line of the code and click F9. You will see this red dot appear over here indicating that the breakpoint is set. But here's the thing, what if you don't want to stop on every iteration? What if you want to break only under specific conditions? That's where the conditional breakpoints comes in. Soon as I want to test a condition with this breakpoint, I'll go ahead and convert it into a conditional breakpoint. This means the program will only pause if a specific condition is met, saving me time during debugging by only stopping when it's necessary. I'll set my conditional breakpoint. To do so, I'll hover over the red dot, go to Setting, here select Conditions, and I can add my condition here. For now, I wanted to pause the program only when the luminosity system sum equals to 0 so that I can test if the outside just broken star definition. And once I selected Close over here, this will be a conditional breakpoint. And in addition to setting breakpoints and conditional breakpoints directly in your code, Visual Studio allows you to set them from windows like call stack and local window, which can really speed up your debugging process. Let's start by looking at the call stack and how we can set a trace point from there. A trace point is similar to breakpoint, but instead of stopping the program, it logs a custom message to the output window and lets the program keep running. Here's the call stack window over here. Let me pin it first. Okay, to open this window, once you debug your code, you can go over this debug menu. From window, you can navigate and find it here. Okay, I already have it open here. And we can see the functions that are currently executing. I'm going to right click on this function and set a trace point directly from here. I'll add the message that I wanted to see in the output window. Okay, this process makes it easy to monitor execution and quickly pinpoint exactly where the program is running without interrupting the flow. Next up is local windows. I have it ready here. This window shows all the variables currently in scope. If you're watching a specific one, you can right click on its value and select break when value changes to set data breakpoint. Data breakpoint works like a regular breakpoint, but instead of stopping at a line of code, it pauses the program the moment the variable's value changes. And this is very powerful to catch unexpected changes in memory without having to trace through the entire code base. For example, in this start sampling loop, let's say I want to pause the program the moment visible radius changes. Maybe it becomes smaller than I should be and start cutting off stars I expect to see. Instead of hunting through the code and setting breakpoints everywhere, I can just set data breakpoint from this window by right-clicking on visible radius and choosing break when value changes. Now, this will automatically pause the program as soon as this variable is modified. And this is really efficient way to track down subtle bugs, especially when you are not exactly sure where and why the change is happening. Visual Studio will now pause execution the moment the variable's value change. Okay, now that we have set our breakpoints, let's talk about managing them. Sometimes when we are debugging, we end up with many breakpoints and it's messy. To solve this problem, Visual Studio has a great feature called breakpoint groups that helps you organize and manage your breakpoints effectively. To do so, let's open Breakpoint by navigating to Debug, Windows, and Breakpoints. Okay, I have set up a few groups here and I can easily add a new group by clicking New, Breakpoint Groups, or I can use Ctrl+G keyboard shortcut. Here I'm gonna call it Demo. Okay, and I will go ahead and add the conditional breakpoint I created and move it to this demo. When working with multiple breakpoints, grouping them can help you focus on the ones that you really care. For instance, you can unselect a group and disable those breakpoints temporarily without actually deleting them. You can also set a default breakpoint group by right-clicking on the group and set as a default breakpoint group, and the newly created breakpoints will automatically be added to that group. Last but not least, I wanted to show you that if you accidentally delete a breakpoint, you don't need to worry. For example, if you delete it like this, you can easily undo this action by pressing Ctrl+D, just like any other undo in Visual Studio. Also, to disable a breakpoint, navigate where the breakpoint is at and do Shift-click. This will turn off the breakpoint without removing it, so you can re-enable it later. Alright, we have covered some of the key debugging features in Visual Studio. You can see how breakpoints, conditional breakpoints, data breakpoints, and trace points can really help you focus on the part of your code that matters the most while debugging your C++ code. Thanks for watching.